So after my next, I just wanted to rant on Christmas a bit just because it was in my bones. So the next thing that I would just like to touch on today is this concept of racial justice, which is very big in the nonprofit community. For you who don't know me, I have been in the nonprofit community for over almost 2 decades now. I've been a community organizer, I've been an executive director, I've been a development director. This was my background. And so every organization I've ever been a part of, there's this concept of racial justice. But it's more like this PC version of racial justice. Because anytime you start to talk about true racial justice and what that looks like, anytime you say black first, they're like, oh, hey, what does that mean? That's a little bit too radical. We can't be black first and still write that grant to get the money for the white people so we can bring it back in the community. No, I'm over it. I'm done. We spend so much of our time begging, and begging. When are we going to get tired of begging? When are we going to get tired of begging? We beg them to get money to fix our schools. We beg them to give us money to start a business. We begging the same people who are killing us every day to solve our problems when the only people who can solve our problems is ourselves.
That's right.
There's this concept that the minister talks about, that you have to love your people more than they hate themselves. One of the biggest problems in our community is that we hate ourselves so much that we don't acknowledge it. We hate the way we look, we hate the way we talk, we hate the way we dress, we hate where we live. That hate is intense. And so we spend all 24 hours of our day trying to be like somebody else. We gotta change the color of our skin tone with our makeup. We gotta change the texture of our hair with all of our weaves and our wigs and all this extra stuff. All of these things that we're doing to be like someone that hates us and wants to be like us. White people spend their whole lives trying to be like us. They want to talk like us. They want to dance like us. They want to think like us. If they could, they would literally wear our skin. That's actually crime coming to a theater near you, as Minister would say. Because right now they're just using the tanning beds, but if they could probably wear us like a coat. And so this concept of black people adopting white ideology is something that we were talking about earlier. Tahaka said that we're not like white people. And that's true. We are so not like white people that we don't realize it. There's this thing where you do a trial. So the University of Chicago is doing all of these medical trials in our community. One of the reasons they're doing these medical trials is because they're realizing that the medicine that they make doesn't affect us the same way it does white people. So they want to get under our skin and see what makes us tick. It's the same way with organ transplants. When you get a donor organ, black people's bodies don't respond the same way as white people's bodies would because we're different. This is not just a skin tone difference. This is an internal difference. God made us different for a reason. And that's something that we don't acknowledge. So, I've been going off my little notes here, so this is my first time speaking for a long period of time. So, what I'm gonna, the note I'm going to end on is something that we talked about earlier. So, this notion of coming out of her. What does that mean? What does that mean to come out of this place that we've grown so accustomed to, that we have actually started to become? Tahaka says this thing where we've become more European than the Europeans. And that doesn't make any sense. Because as an elder millennial, we're tired. We don't want to do the same things that our parents did. We don't want to spend all this time going to debt, going to school, getting 5 degrees and still be broke and got to go work at Walmart, McDonald's, or Target because no one will hire us. We don't want to go through this same thing, going back and forth with the police and like want to be in committees with the police. Like, hey, we got a problem with the police. Let's can work together and make the community a better place. How are you going to make the community a better place from the people who are killing you? How does that work exactly? It's the same thing over and over. And millennials, people wonder why we're so angry. It's because we don't want to repeat the same mistakes of our fathers. One of the reasons why millennials are in the condition that we're in right now is because our forefathers gave up. They didn't put the work in to do what needed to be done so that we didn't have to do this for our children. If we want to have children right now, how? We're in debt. We owe everybody. We owe the government for school. We owe for credit cards. We owe all this money. We're the biggest debt generation that this country has ever seen. And this even more so with black students, because when we go to college, we have to beg, borrow, and steal to get enough money to even be able to survive 1 year of college, let alone 4 years.
You forgot to work.
Oh yeah.
And so we've come in this space where we're just fed up. We're tired. And so the only way out for us is to be radical. What's wrong with being radical? I'm tired of being in spaces where people will say, well, hey, we need unity. We all just need to come together. The blacks, the Latinos, the Asians, we're just all people of color. No, I'm not a person of color. I'm black.
Whoa, that's right.
Born black.
You are
I'm not black.
That's right. You are a person of color.
Because it's an insult. When you talk about, oh, indigenous people, we are the indigenous people. We are the original people. So why do we always want to take on everybody's struggle when we can't even fight for ourselves?
Woo.
And so I just want to leave you on that note that I'm tired of being sick and tired. I'm only 37. Why am I sick and tired? I'm sick and tired of our people falling into the same crap that we've been falling into generations. If somebody else tell me, oh, well, you should just go vote. What voting gonna do for me? What has voting ever done for me? If we vote in a black mayor tomorrow, is that gonna make the police stop gunning us down in the street?
Nope.
If we vote for a black mayor tomorrow, is that gonna miraculously stop our people from being hungry and destitute on the street?
Nope.
If we vote for a black mayor tomorrow, is he gonna give us back all our houses that the white man has stole from us in our very own communities?
Nope.
If we vote for a black mayor tomorrow, are they going to make sure that we are not just struggling to survive but thrive in our community? No. If we vote for a black mayor tomorrow, all they're going to do is follow the same status quo that's been going on to appease the other white aldermen in their community, and they're not going to do anything for us. So I'm over it. So I greet you. Peace. Bye, Hotep. Shalom. Assalamu alaikum. Kabar Gadi. What goes on? And the Lafayette. Ashe.